25th, Brooklyn, Atlanta, Orlando, Indianapolis, Houston, and now,
Yeah.
Black Ink Radio.
Hey, yo, welcome to Pretty Real Podcast. Y'all already know the vibes. It's your girl, Kiso. We up.
And your girl, Crystal Honey.
And Mango.
Y'all. Yes. Pretty random today, y'all. Have y'all seen Lil Nas on SNL?
Yeah.
Yes,
And he
girl.
was
It was
performing.
cute.
I was proud of him.
Yeah.
Well, what you thought I was cute about him?
I mean, you know, I like how he moves. He's a really good dancer.
Did you see when his zipper unzipped
I
down?
did.
When it went down? And he tried to play it off?
He didn't look too
He
shocked
did
though.
a great job playing.
Was that
He
was that
did-
for
he
real?
did Huh?
Was that on purpose?
Nah, you could tell it wasn't on purpose.
It was
'cause he
cute though. I was
real
like, oh,
shocked.
look at him all shy. He's like, oops. It was cute.
And then, have y'all heard Demi Lovato calling herself non-binary?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That basically means that you do not consider yourself a male or a female. You're non-binary.
Who said that?
Demi Lovato.
I don't know who that is.
Well, she's
Yes, you do. You just don't. You will have to see
Yeah.
her. You'll be like, oh, that white lady.
she's a little girl from Disney.
She doesn't have a coochie?
She has a coochie,
Oh, okay.
but she basically letting everybody know.
It's like he doesn't have a coochie.
Is it missing?
Like the Barbie dolls.
Right.
Like,
Just
oh my
leg on leg and shit. I don't like that.
Right.
I used to be mad at the Barbie dolls.
I
Where
feel
the
like
coochie at?
everybody's, this is a time when everybody has the right to identify what they want to identify as.
Do what you want, man. Just
Yeah,
don't
shit.
do drugs.
Just don't do what you want to do. Just don't be Bruce
I
Jenner.
think if they didn't do drugs,
Do the right
she'd
drugs.
understand that she's a female.
My thing is,
Do the
do
correct
you
drugs.
go into a male's bathroom or a female's bathroom?
Right.
In that situation.
Oh shit.
She might go into the family bathroom.
Yeah, because they have, but
What if
not
they don't
everywhere
have
has
that?
a family bathroom.
Huh?
Not
I just go
everybody has a
outside.
family bathroom.
You go outside.
I like to pee outside.
A lot of
Oh,
girls
you
I
pee
know go outside.
I like to mark my territory.
Yeah, after the club, I pull over. They just
Yeah,
go.
like I like this is
real?
mine.
I
Yeah.
cannot be
Yeah.
outside.
Well, speaking of market territory,
Nice.
ASAP Rocky, he's marking his territory and confirmed that he's dating Rihanna. Like, do you see that?
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
ASAP Rocky ain't enough man for her.
I don't know. You think so?
See, the way she a West Indian bad girl. Like, she
Right,
needs some
like-
She
donkey
like
dick.
bad boys, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
donkey
know. She
dick.
might need them submissive boys.
Yeah, this
But
was
like,
random. He's pretty, so I'm kind of like,
Or ASAP Rocky?
maybe she's dominating him and she likes that for
what I'm
now.
Probably is.
like,
Yeah.
He probably submissive. That's what it looks like.
She's probably putting in his butt. Something new for her.
That's what I was saying.
in his butt.
In his
Maybe
butt.
it's a phase.
It's a phase. It's a short phase. She probably got tired of getting hit and wanted to do some of the hitting.
Facts.
Can't,
can see it.
can't get hit. Well, speaking of getting hit, he got hit very, very hard. That's Brazilian artist MC Kevin.
What happened?
Fell off the 5 stories. He was cheating on his wife.
Wait, you not shit. Hold on. You said speaking of getting hit.
He got hit real hard.
Ain't nobody
Yeah.
had this crazy shit.
Yeah, I was trying to keep up.
Speaking of getting hit, this
But
nigga got
he
hit
fell down.
mega hard.
5 stories after being caught cheating on his wife with a prostitute. And he was
Wow.
trying to run away from
Whoa, that's
run
not
for what?
cheating.
What do you mean? That's
No,
not
he was
cheating.
having
Why?
a-
You're married.
He was having a threesome with his homeboy and this girl they met on a boardwalk out of their hotel, and I guess he heard his wife coming in, so he tried to jump to the balcony below, and he dropped and he died.
That's not
He
a
was
threesome.
fine as fuck. I was.
That's
woo.
not a threesome though.
Well, he was having a threesome.
No, if it's 2 guys and a girl,
Yeah, that's still
That's
a threesome.
trade. No,
That's not a
what
threesome.
y'all say, but it's really.
No,
Listen,
that's a
listen,
double
listen.
standard.
No, that's
listen,
a
it's
double
not.
standard.
That's a double standard.
There's
Y'all trying to
actually,
say it's a trade,
I
but
don't want to
it's
get too
really
much into this, but there's actually rules to this, right? If the 2 men are not engaging with each other, it's not a threesome. The reason why 2 women and a man is a threesome is because all 3 parties are engaging with each other. When there's 2 men and a woman and they're both hitting her, it's a train. Now, if the two men are bisexual and they're fucking with each other, then that's a threesome.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, the sexual
We don't know what they were
specialist.
doing.
We don't.
Well, how many have you been a part of, sir?
No
Mr.
threesomes.
Sexologist. Okay.
I'm
Right.
sorry, no threesomes. I just
People
know.
fit in.
I just know definitions. I read a dictionary.
Oh, excuse us. I didn't even know that was an addiction. Thank you.
Well, all right. Well,
Okay, well,
on
now we know
today's
that.
topic, guys. So what do you guys have? You guys heard about the Kwame Brown situation
Yeah.
where he's like basically he's like a longtime NBA player.
Right.
He makes $65 million.
Damn, you could tell I ain't into sports.
He's also the number 1 draft pick by Michael Jordan.
Damn.
And he was 17 when he was drafted into the NBA. And, you know, basically a lot of the players bullied him and was just talking crap about him. And
Regular player shit.
I mean, but they've been doing it.
I mean, they do that to each other. It's like, it's basketball. You know what I'm saying?
But all of them pinpointed him. A lot of them.
Sorry. That was a bird.
So,
So what happened? What did he do?
I mean, he was just basically just letting them know, like, because, they were just bullying him throughout his season.
So he spoke about it?
Yeah, and letting them know how he felt about it and the situation. Y'all, did you hear about it? No?
Yeah, so now I was waiting for you to finish. So, all right, so what happened was Kwame Brown was Michael Jordan's draft pick when he was 17 years old. He was the first one ever and the last one to be picked in college. He drafted him over to the Washington Wizards. But everyone's so excited, like, oh, he drafted this kid. He has this huge big break. He comes from this huge family of poverty. This guy was like barefoot, surviving off of school lunch. Like, he would play basketball for people's shoes to get shoes on his feet or whatever.
Nice.
So he was so excited when he finally got the opportunity to get over, wishing that he would make it, not realizing that the only reason Jordan had actually brought him over was because he secretly wanted to trade him to Chicago for some kid, Hayne or something like that. Some other kid he really had his eye on. So Jordan had this, notorious personality for being a hard ass, and he was a real hard ass.
He's a dick.
Yeah, that's what they
He's a
say.
dick.
And he was really young, and he had just destroyed his confidence and tore him apart. He was the youngest kid on, like, they just made fun of him about every little thing. Oh, you're huge, but your hands are small. They called him a man-child, and shit like that. And he had already been subjected to so much abuse and poverty growing up as a kid. Like, both his brothers had went to prison, so he was a young kid taking care of his mother. So no matter what was happening there, he knew he had to stay in that situation to survive. So he constantly mentally getting beat down, and then now he's coming to games with other players from other teams, and they beating him down, and his team ain't even standing up for him because they abusing him too. So you got years of this guy, carrying this huge cross of the burden that, this was MJ's number 1 pick here. And he hasn't lived up to what they felt like that should be, because he didn't, acquire the greatness of, say the Kobe Bryants, the Shaquille O'Neals, and the LeBron James. So for years, this man has been the butt of jokes in the NBA. I mean, every time there was any kind of pun, it seemed like his name would come up. And this man has never surfaced. He's been completely quiet. Now, all of a sudden, on the All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and this guy, Stephen Jones, and something Arnett or Arnez, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't watch sports. Our producer makes me do this shit. So anyway, they have a show or whatever, and they start discussing this guy's, career, and they bring him up again, and they were like, making fun of him, like, yeah, he couldn't run, he was slow, he was this, he was that, and he started popping his shit, like, yo, that 81 points that Kobe got, I assisted in that, he got them shits because of me, like, I was catching the layups, I was touching the ball, and he was telling them, like, Kobe and them would have the ball 30 times a game versus him, so it was hard for any player on those teams to really score and all that shit. But let it be told, like, the nigga stayed in the NBA for 13 years, and right now he's worth $8 million. I don't know about the $65 million. Maybe that's when he first signed and he fucked up that 65. But right now, today, he's worth $8 million, and he ain't said shit to nobody. But they done brought his name back up. And so now it is fucking on. Like, imagine people just been dragging you for years. You minding your business. You got your little money. You could tell by his house and the way where he was talking that he live in his space and he mind his business, and he just been airing niggas dirty laundry. You know what I'm saying? He been giving them mama's recipe, and so the niggas that been dragging him, the Matt Barnes and all them, he been calling them little bitches and pussies and talking about how Matt's sitting up there talking about him as a black man, but Derek Fisher banged this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, that's how you talking?
Yeah,
That's how you talking?
like that.
So let me hurry up and tell you, right? So niggas was going in on him and he was just coming for niggas heavy. He was like, yo, the nigga Stevie Jones out here acting like, you know what I'm saying? He was some tough guy. He wanted to be a pimp player. He went to the club with mad jewelry on looking like an Egyptian queen, and niggas draped him up by the bathroom like a bitch and juked him, son. I was like, yo, this nigga talking about how niggas got juked. You know, you never tell nobody about the juk. Nigga.
He went in.
He went in, bro. So then, boom, Charlamagne comes out. Charlamagne comes out on his shit, right? But the only reason I was feeling Charlamagne, because the way Charlamagne came out, he really was looking out for him, but he was like talking too much, like he was talking to the homies, like how me and you supposed to talk with nobody here. Basically, Charlamagne was like, yo, yeah, I'm gonna shut up after this. He was like, yo, y'all leave Kwame Brown alone because you know his father was crazy. He from that little small town of South Carolina where he's from too. His father, this Kwame father, allegedly, well, you know, killed his girl. He beat her to death with this axe.
Charlamagne said that?
Yeah, nigga, and he buried the bitch in the backyard, and so he went to jail, right? And check it out, the reason why he got caught is because the nigga came back after he buried Shorty for his motherfucking check. And so he like, don't fuck with that nigga. Now the brother and the brother's wife in jail right now because they done killed somebody. So Charlamagne was basically like, leave this nigga alone. All them niggas crazy. And so Charlamagne meant it from a good place, but unfortunately,
You talk too much.
Yeah, you don't woke up the beast because you scratching up traumas and told the man business. And so he brought up how Charlamagne had this, you know, rape charge or whatever with the 15-year-old girl in this video out there, and you know, footage of him talking about it. I'm gonna shut up now, so I don't be in trouble.
Wait, who raped who? Charlamagne got a video out?
Charlamagne raped somebody, but listen, I ain't gonna lie. I was about to
call
call.
that. That's how you know
I
you
was
a New York
about to
nigga.
call
You
a
follow all
nigga a
that.
bitch though.
Mm-hmm.
Cause y'all was talking
He a
all this
real
shit.
Nigga. Nah. I fucks with him.
I give
heavy.
him props for that.
Hell yeah. Don't, you shouldn't have fucked
He
with him.
shouldn't have kept quiet so long though.
Well, no, he
Should've kept quiet
You
so
know
long.
what? He had. I respect him for that because he had his
Nah,
money.
he bottled it up, and then now he's exploding,
No,
and it's looking
he not
bad.
No, it don't look bad.
It don't look bad?
Let me tell you why it don't look bad. Man, Barnes tried to play him because he on the shit talking about, oh, you getting followers and all that shit. Yes, he getting followers. Lord, talk about me. Let me get the same amount of followers. Of course, he getting followers, endorsements, podcast, office, all of that. So he waited. He did the right thing.
He did the right thing.
He like a caveman now. People want to know who's Tarzan. Who's Tarzan? Slinging niggas in the street. And he said, this nigga's in his truck with the cowboy hat like, you niggas is bitches. Like Denzel Washington.
No.
That's on God. You niggas is bitches. You ain't ready for me. I'm going to give you mama's recipe. Slaying them.
That's what he keeps saying?
Nigga on some real tough guy OG gangster shit by his lonesome. You hear me? Big All right, let me show you.
Bullying is bad. Stop doing it.
Charlamagne gave himself Donkey of the Day.
Himself?
Yes, he gave himself Donkey of the Day.
For what?
And he apologized to Kwame Brown.
Shout out to Charlamagne.
Because it takes a lot.
And that's the first time I think he ever gave himself Donkey of the Day.
No, it's not the first time.
It ain't?
It ain't?
No, he even said when he did it that it's not the first time. He said, you know, contrary to popular belief, it's not the first time I give myself Donkey of the Day. And I think that's all cute and stuff that he gave himself Donkey of the Day, but he only did it because Kwame, you know, scratched on that rape case, and now that rape case is everywhere. On the Star Report then had Jessica on the damn show talking about the rape. Everybody's talking about the rape. People are calling for him to be removed from the Breakfast Club and all of that because he done scratched the surface on the rape. So yeah, and he going around issuing cease and desists. He sending cease and desists to everybody who talk about the shit. Funkmaster Flex was about to have a coronary preacher like Hezekiah walking in the pulpit talking about, nigga, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You's a freak ass nigga.
Yeah.
This shit was going bananas on the internet, yo.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you. So now,
Where do I be at?
bro, I don't know.
Here.
And sorry.
You'll be here.
I be in the club.
In the club.
Find me in the club, bottle full of bub, not hearing shit about these niggas going bugs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that shit is dumb. Yeah, this shit is wild right now. And so I feel like, yeah, Charlamagne did the right thing, and that's what he talks about anyway, being spiritual and all that. But he did it amidst him sending cease and desists and all that shit, trying to prevent his shit from going any further. But it's already out, and he gonna have. And then Kevin, Wendy Williams' husband done released some footage talking about, shit that he done did and all of that.
Shit that he done did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Charlamagne was on Wendy Williams' show first. He was on Wendy
Well,
Williams' show
yeah,
first.
he was just talking about how he was a fuck nigga then, and that he had blocked him from some opportunity at HBO because of those, slash shit he was doing. And they were saying like he was a weirdo. I guess you know how sometimes people know you be doing some fuck shit and they rather part ways than really stop your shit.
Yeah.
It looked like it was one of them situations like they just said let's part ways.
Yeah,
and
they let him
and
go.
now that it hit the fan, it's like yeah, he been that. That's like
He been a bitch ass nigga.
like the same thing. With
And
R.
we
Kelly.
got proof.
Yeah, like the same thing with R. Kelly. All of a sudden when R. Kelly came to light, 1 million people knew what was going on. But it took him to come to light for the 1 million people to know what was
But
going
see,
on.
I can't fuck with those people because y'all all knew what was up and y'all was sending y'all kids over there, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Oh, yes we are.
Shit, we can't talk about that too, because stop sending your kids to these people.
Yeah, that shit crazy because everybody knew what their kids was doing, and they was happily dropping them off. Sparkle talking about her niece. You used to go to the studio, see your niece with him, and leave her there, her little 13-year-old self with him, and knowing he was peeing on her.
But getting away from that, but the whole Kwame thing, man, I feel like Kwame's response was absolutely warranted, and all the niggas that fuck with him, they deserve what they got. Yeah. And then I think it's lame now that Matt Barnes and them, now they doing funny guy shit like inviting them to fist fights and stuff. For what?
Where can we see this at?
Everywhere. Just put it on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube?
Yes, everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to go see this.
You have to see it. Because and the thing is, he driving in his car just handing them they asses. You know what I'm saying? Speaking some
Even
real nigga shit. And and it's crazy because he said the realest shit. He said, all y'all niggas can say about me is basketball jokes. And he's right. At the end of the day, let's just talk about this. You guys are idiots. Y'all saying he's a bum-ass athlete, and I don't even know nothing about sports like that. But this man is dominating sports media right now.
Like
a billion years after
rings, right?
I don't know I don't even know what that means, bro.
If he helped Kobe with the 81, he got
Why
rings,
are they
right?
bullying him? Like, are they just trying to make excuses? Like, he's not
Because
a good player?
Yeah, they're saying like
Is that
for him
true?
to be the number 1 draft pick and that being the first person to ever be picked that way straight out of high school, he should have lived up to a certain expectation. He should have been a Kobe. He should have been a LeBron.
That's not an
He should have been
excuse.
Exactly. It doesn't
bullying
matter. They
him.
was just saying that Michael Jordan picked him.
They was mad that Jordan picked him, not knowing Jordan didn't give a fuck about him. Jordan had an agenda.
Yep. Jordan wanted to trade him all along. And he said that. He said it was hard for him to say that. He said he didn't want to. He said, how do you say as a person that you're grateful for the opportunity that, oh, y'all don't know this nigga really got me because he wanted to trade me up. You know what I'm saying?
But they do that with the number 1 draft pick a lot. They get them just to trade them. They don't necessarily want them.
I said that's not an excuse to bully someone because they don't live up to your expectations.
That's true.
Who, him? Yeah.
See, the thing is, they probably expected him to be another LeBron. You know what I'm saying? LeBron was 17. He came in, he did his thing. But they boosted LeBron shit when he came in. And then they overshadowed Carmelo. That's why Carmelo's career, to me, is not as big as it could have been. Because him and LeBron came at the same time, but they chose LeBron. And Carmelo did better. LeBron came straight from high school. Carmelo went to college, only did 1 year, took his team all the way to the chip, won the chip, then got drafted at the same time as LeBron. But they made the big thing about LeBron, not him. And he got overshadowed.
But wasn't the requirements different back then versus that time?
It's the same. If he came out of high school, it's the same. At 17, LeBron was 17 too. But LeBron was a fucking human monster. He was fucking, look how big and tall he was. And he was already, like, killing him. Like, he was just he's a big nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's another reason why they was making a mockery of Kwame, too. They were saying, like, he was big for nothing. Like, he appeared to be this big, huge, masculine
Everybody's
man.
not going to do what LeBron.
And they felt like he couldn't deliver. Like, what does center mean? Whatever he was. He was a center?
But see, that's the thing. Look how big LeBron was. But LeBron was still like a fucking guard or a forward. A center is not supposed to do too much.
He said that they had worked him so hard that he had got up to like 270, and then he thought he was doing good, and then out of nowhere they was like, yeah, we need you down to 230. Like, they was really hazing this kid.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, he was mentally getting stressed the hell out.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Well, they got what they call. They got what they asked for.
So you bully somebody,
Shout out to him.
Then you get
Bully back.
You bully back.
That's a fact.
I feel like that's absolute 20 years. Could you imagine?
And
So
he
if you
was
Google
quiet.
him-
And he was quiet for all those years. Come on, it's like that white kid in the classroom. You keep poking at him for all
Say
these
that.
years, and next thing you
He
know,
come back and
up
shoot the fucking school up. And you don't know why.
Everybody, so it's like, come on, you can't.
But
feel no type of way.
Do you remember that in school? Like, I'm sure all y'all seen it. It will always be that one kid that always got picked on and nobody ever expected it. And one day, the Asian
popped
kid
on
wowed
somebody.
out and nobody could believe it. Like,
Popped
security
on.
taking him to the office.
And then
That's true.
now he a cool kid.
Yeah, right. Now everybody,
Now
yeah.
he cool.
He got sneakers now.
Yeah, he was-
I love you, Richie. You make it feel like home.
Yeah, we back in the Browns, baby. What's up?
He got sneakers now.
You got
son.
sneakers.
That's the first thing niggas say. Oh, you got sneakers? Yeah.
Right.
That's a fact, man. But shout out to you, Kwame Brown, man. I think you showed that good quality manship, and I think them niggas deserve all you dishing out, boy.
You will see the energy you give out.
That's a fact.
And that's just on that. And that's a wrap on Pretty Real Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Powered by Black Ink Radio.
Love.
You are now tuned in to Black Ink Radio.
Turn up.
The hottest station.